Why should somebody say that in Plateau State that, look, if you want to employ a staff, don't employ a Plateau indigene? I mean, that is one of the most annoying narratives, even within us.
Yes.
Somebody will say, yes, if you employ a Plateau indigene, they'll tell you my mother's father's brother's sister's cousin just gave birth.
Mm-hmm.
And then the next day, there's
a
the burial.
burial.
But we have so many hardworking people.
Hi there, it's exciting to be with you once again. Thank you for always joining up on the podcast, always tuning in, always listening in, and being part of what we're building here at the Just Start podcast. I have a quote that I'd like to share with you to start, and it says, I alone cannot change the world, but I can cast a stone across the water to create many ripples. Let that sink in. You're welcome to Just Start podcast, where we bring you stories, conversations, and insights around business and culture shaping from the city of Jos. I'm your host. My name is Timothy Kunat, and it's always a pleasure, always a privilege to come to you, bringing you amazing guests with wonderful stories that help to show you that you have everything that you need where you are to start, and that every of your dreams are valid. But most importantly, that Plateau State and Jos as a city is a viable destination for investment, for tourism, for, everything that you can think of. We are opening up doors, and there are amazing things that are happening right now here in the city. My guest today is someone I have really great respect for him. He is an entrepreneur in word and in deed, right? He is the chairman of the Valgee Group and the GM, the general manager of the Plateau Express Services Group. I'm here with none other than Honorable Sam Gwott. It is good to have you here today, sir.
Thank you very much, team. You have to remove that honorable here.
All right, sir. So I can stick with Mr.
Yes.
Okay.
And just a slight correction.
Okay.
I'm the group managing director of the Plateau Express Services Group Limited.
Okay.
It's now a group of companies.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So not a general manager.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you for that correction.
No
Awesome. I've heard a bit of your story, and I'm very intrigued. And I think that a lot of people, many more people got to know you after the announcement for, Plateau Express. People had heard Valgee much more than they had heard Sam G, right? And then a lot of people be like, who is this guy? Who is this guy? Who is this guy? I think many people would like to know the who is this guy, about this guy, and the journey working all the way up here, building building the transport service, building the transport company that has redefined transportation here on the plateau, right? So take us a little bit on the journey.
Oh, thank you for this great opportunity to share my story. I think it's all about stories that I think the more we hear these stories very close to us, the more it encourages others as well.
Yeah.
That all you need to do is just to start. And I hear that all the time. I seem to be a faceless man, but the names of what I'm doing has been more popular than what I've done. Well, generally, I started Valgee, and I quickly put up a structure where my main desire is to ensure that the company outlives its founder, and that's one thing that it's been lacking here on the plateau. So many examples. And so I seem to be a faceless man because I allowed the business to run. And I wasn't the one in front of everybody supervising everything, doing everything. Yeah, initially, the first phase, I was the one. And so people thought that the business must have been owned by an Igbo man or a Yoruba man. And they said, no, for such ingenious work and the kind of organization, it must be someone out of this state. And they were shocked that it was a Plateau boy.
Yeah.
Yes, homegrown Plateau boy, and then they now started to say, oh yeah, it must be from this ethnic tribe or this one. So you can see how the kind of stereotype that is running with regards to how people see us here from the parts of the middle belt.
Yeah.
And so it's like a surprise when they see that someone is thriving in business, because we seem to be tagged as a civil service state. And so Samuel is someone, I'm Biron by tribe. I'm a Christian born with great privilege of having my mom and dad at my tender ages, born to Mr. Albert Gwott, he's late, and my mom, Mrs. Grace Gwott. And I grew up mostly with my mom. Most of my years I grew up with my mom. And we had ups and downs. We had the good side of life, and we had the very, very rough side of life. Things were really, really bad at some point. And we stayed in a house where there was no light for more than 5 years.
Wow.
And there were days that we didn't even know how we're going to eat. And some days that we just drank water. And some days that we just boiled maize. Some days that we lived basically on cocoyam, that's gwaza.
Gwaza.
Yes, and that was the special recipe, gwaza and sweet potatoes and a kind of yam that is grown in my place called doyambirum. And
Is it those tiny ones?
Yeah, they're still, yes, but the yam has hairs.
Oh,
yes,
okay.
yes, it's small, but it has hairs like that. So you boil it with the back, and then when it's done, then you peel it. So it's a bit sour.
Oh, okay.
And so even recently I was offered gwaza. And then when I looked at it, I told the person that, look, I think I've had enough gwaza in my life.
Oh, the trauma.
Yeah. So I saw how my mom go out every day. You're depending on her for transport because my dad, unfortunately, wasn't really there.
Yeah.
Even when he was alive, he wasn't really there. So grew up with my mom. And so I think part of my determinations to succeed in life was to make my mom proud, to make life better for us. And sometimes, some people are drawn by different kinds of passion, but some of us, you're actually faced with poverty and you're determined that I cannot live like that. God has given me all I need to succeed. And you're just determined that you want to change the story. And you're determined that you will persist until you succeed. And so it's it's a story of resilience. It's a story of living by faith. I'm a man of faith. It's been a journey of faith. I've imagined several things in my childhood that I've seen it happening right now.
Wow.
And so it's been a struggle all through, but God has been very faithful. I have 2 siblings. I'm the one at the middle.
Okay.
So I have an elder brother, and I'm the middle, and then the younger one. So a few of my entrepreneurial journeys started with when my mom was running a poultry, and I knew how it was looking good, and I desired to also have a poultry.
Okay.
And also when we're staying in Bukuru, we're always trekking a lot, riding bikes. And I think my first business deal was to have. I started baking because my mom's a
you
caterer.
bake?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So I was baking meat pie and supplying to First Bank and to another bank again. Then I'll take. So I was making 500 from each of the shops. So I was making like 1,000 naira a week.
Wow.
And that's how I was getting by going to school. And one of the things I did while in school as well, my higher education, was I found this nice neighbor that, he's a missionary, and we struck a deal to wash his car every week, and he gives me 500 naira every week.
Wow.
So I wash his car 3 times every week. I wake up very early in the morning, like 6 o'clock or 5:30, and wash his car faithfully every morning before I get dressed, and take a walk to school, or sometimes take a bike to school. And that was the life then. We've sold recharge cards. That was one of the worst businesses I would recommend to anybody. Then you had those the cards.
Yes.
And you have to sell a lot to make something reasonable. So you're having a lot of capital, but at the end of the day, you may just be making 15 naira, 20 naira. I forgot how the maths was, how the margins were, but it was quite ridiculous. But we've done all of this. We've tried different things. In my NYSC, I tried to teach French in 2 other places because I speak French.
Oh,
yeah,
interesting. I didn't know that.
So I've studied French. Okay, my majors is in business management. I knew that that's what I was cut out for. I started with diploma in accounting, and then I switched to business management. And while doing that, I was so much into sports, represented Plateau State sports, and at some point I was asking myself, what really am I good at? And I fell in love with French, and I really wanted to really be known for something. And I got so much into the French language, and I was able to start teaching French during my NYSC. So I had certificates, CFP1, I had DELF, B1, B2. For those that understand French, we know that these certificates are quite good. It gives you good recognition, and you can actually flow in other francophone places with that kind of certificate. It gives you some kind of soft landing. And so I did all of that. I did lots of singing. I did lots of acting. I've written over 50 songs.
You've done things.
I play the guitar. I've done marathon. We've done
wow.
We've done so much. We've done Spartan treks. I had quite an exciting childhood. We've done some farming as well. So part of those times growing up, I used to life was really hard, and I used to wish that someone would just believe in me and give us one bus so that we could shuttle between Jos and Bukuru. So then I was having that dream of just me and my cousin. Then I was like, I don't even mind to be the conductor, you are the driver, or we take turns.
Wow.
So I just wished then that somebody could just give us one bus.
One bus.
And I'd done the numbers then. It was so exciting. And I was wishing that if, things would just change, things would just get better for us and my mom, and we'll be able to, from there, buy one more bus. And those were just dreams of a teenager. And here am I now,
wow.
Running my own company and having over 100 staff, a transport company.
Yeah, in the same transport.
And then also in control of the transport system of the state. Being privileged to have that responsibility and bringing a big solution, a digitized transport system that has blessed a lot of people. And so sometimes you have dreams and you're just thinking that it's all about you. But God is preparing you for a people.
Yeah.
He's going to bless you, but he's blessing you to be a blessing to others. And it has never been about you. It's all about his plans, his own kingdom. And so I got to understand much later on when I sat down in my own office and said, look, I'm the one now having massive metro buses and running things that have been so much of a great blessing to so many people. So by and large, that has been my little upbringing. So I've done a bit of, in my NYC, I did a bit of French teaching. I was able to sell some French books while in my NYC. So I was teaching in 2 different places apart from my primary assignment. Yes, and I was in a village.
Did you serve?
Gombe.
Gombe.
Yes, Gombe.
Okay.
I was Kwame local government in Bojudi. There was no network. You have to go up the mountain to be able to.
Sounds like where I served. There was one tree, one particular tree in the whole village where we go and stand under to find network.
So for us, there was this hill, and you can imagine those days of having to, midnight call. That call that starts from 12 to 5.
To 5.
So imagine trekking all the way to the middle of nowhere on top of one hill, just standing somewhere just because you want to speak to your girlfriend.
Oh, that's true love.
Man, that is the real price, So it's been a build-up of so many things. After my French, after NYC, I came back and I knew that I cannot be idle. I knew that I had to get to start doing something, because imagine that you're earning small alawi, and you've done some few deals, then you come back home, and then that money finishes, and then the worst thing is to start asking your mom again for transport money or for money to go and have a haircut. That is a serious anti-climb, because at that point, expectations are getting high.
Yes.
From NYC, you're buying things in the house, you're sending money home, and then you come back home and you want to start collecting. And I thank God that I quickly had to apply myself. People didn't really like the idea of teaching, but I just needed to start doing something. And I was my students enjoyed it. I did it with the whole of my heart while I was still a French teacher. And during that job, I got a job to be a salesman for a medical company. And so I worked in a medical company for about 11 years. Ooh. And I started with 15,000 and then 25,000 and 50,000. Kept on renegotiating as my worth kept on increasing. I was now the manager of the company, and we were able to set up the company. It was running pretty well, and started negotiating to 100,000 and then to even 250,000. So based on my worth, we kept on growing. And while I was doing that, I knew that the bills were rising. Then I got married in 2014, I think so, 2014, 15. Hope my wife not listens. Well, I know it's 11 years. So 11 minus this is what?
2014.
2014, thank you.
Yeah.
Please, if my wife listens to this, I hope
we apologize on his behalf.
Oh while I was working for the medical company, I convinced the company to go to Abuja, and then while we're in Abuja, I love cars. No wonder my son loves cars. My daughter loves cars, but my son loves cars a lot too. And so I knew that I had to do more than just my salary. I knew that because the bills were rising immediately. My daughter was born, my first child. The bills were rising and the salary was the same. I knew that something had to happen. I had to explore. And I always had that mind to see gaps in the market, to see what is missing. If I enter a restaurant, if I enter a place like this, my wife sometimes says I'm too critical, but I just see what is not right or what could be done better. And so I started, running taxi business. I convinced one of my friends. He leased the car for me. And I started running Uber and Taxify. Now it's called Bolt.
Now it's Bolt, yes.
And I was doing it very well. I did it with the whole of my heart. I was in between my job. Once there's free time, I do that. Sometimes I work till late in the night. Sometimes I work overnight. Wow. I've slept in places like 3rd Avenue in Gwarimpa, overnight just to meet up to the target so that I can remit the money back to my friend. And I knew that there was more to it, but I just knew that it was part of the process. Then the trending talk about thinking smart, working hard.
And working smart.
And working smart, yes. The whole thing was, I knew that, look, there's so much to it because driving Uber is hard work.
It's hard work.
It is hard work. Forget that somebody says he's getting by with it. I believe it should be a temporary thing. I don't think that somebody should now
build a full career
on that. No. So for me, that was just a process And while doing that, on Fridays, I'll just get passengers, from Nyanya, go and see my wife and my baby, and Sunday or Monday morning, get passengers, come back. And I was doing that consecutively, consistently, as far back as 2016, 2017, even part of 2018. I was still doing that. I bumped into some good celebrities while running Uber. I've snapped with them. One of the celebrities also, even on my Instagram page up till now, if you go down to my profile, you see me snapping with one of my favorite actors that I like in Nigeria, and I snapped with him. That's Moffett Duncan.
Okay.
Yes, and so we did all of that, and somehow it evolved into what we're doing right now, and here we are.
Yeah.
And so some years ago, about now 13 years ago, or 12 years ago, I went with my friend to drop a proposal at Plateau Riders to see the general manager then, and I escorted my friend. He was a tech guy, or he's a tech guy, and Matthew. So we went to drop a proposal on how he can introduce technology in terms of booking to enhance the business of Plateau Riders.
Wow.
And the then general manager looked at us, those boys then, and said this was not possible.
Wow.
And 10 years later, I was seated on the same seat as the general manager. Then, now I'm the group managing director.
Yeah.
But you can see how the orchestrations of life, that there are no accidents in life.
At all.
You just think that you're just moving, but your steps are actually ordered. That I was actually in that same office, and 10 years later, I was seated down in that same office.
To implement the same idea that you brought 10 years before.
Exactly. So, in a summary, that has been my entrepreneurial journey. I try to just pick a few things I've done in terms of entrepreneurship, so that you get to know that I was very, very slim then. I was like one, I was quite
I've
slim.
seen pictures.
I've seen those things mistaking me like one Fulani boy. And that was cool, but I mean, I'm just saying that I think those were my days of Egypt, being in Egypt or Babylon. Now I think I'm getting close to the promised land.
The slimness was not out of nature, it was out of suffering.
Yeah, it was out of suffering and so much. And I'm not saying that being chubby means
of course,
life is good.
Yeah.
But you get the message.
I do, yeah,
So
totally.
I really thank God for the journey so far. But we've paid the price, and we're still making the sacrifices. We started small, and we've done so many things, just to make money. Assisted my mom in the restaurant.
Yeah.
Wash plates. I've done so many things. She was running the Lion Bank canteen. We've served customers food. We've washed plates. We've done errands in the market. I used to drive one of my aunties just to get a little change. I've done quite a number of things. So life didn't just happen like this, but it's actually been a journey. And I'm really thankful to God that we're still writing the story.
Yeah.
But here we are.
Yeah. Amazing. This is amazing. Okay, so from everything that you've talked about from this background, it seemed like you had a certain kind of mindset, right? The mindset that was not willing to stay at home and do nothing. The mindset that was willing to keep developing yourself up to the point that you went to learn French enough to teach it. The mindset that was taking advantage of opportunities and identifying opportunities, even up until the point where you began to even do Uber and all of that while having a regular job. Was it something? So, was it this mindset? Was it intentionally built, or something that you've always had? You mentioned the fact that you get into spaces, you are very analytical in your mindset. In your thinking, you see gaps. And has this thing always been there, or was it something that you honed intentionally over time?
Okay, so I'll attribute my ambition, to succeed due to hardship. Yeah, you're actually we were actually poor at some point, and the desire to make life better for your mom. For my mom, I was my motivation to succeed was to make life better, and then the motivation was refined as I grew up. I knew that life was not all about me.
Yeah.
I knew that I was destined to be someone that was a solution to so many people. I love to create joy in the hearts of people, and I love to see people smiling. And so I was more motivated to work hard so that I could be a blessing to a lot of people. I've been doing a lot of charitable work at a young age. I've been doing a lot of giving, and I knew that life was not all about you and your family.
Yes.
But initially, I would attribute my ambition to making life better for me and my mom and my siblings. And after that, like I said, I knew that life was more about if all you had was just to, feed yourself and your family, what really have you achieved in life? But you know that you're more motivated because so much is needed in terms of advancement of God's kingdom, in terms of being able to help people. You must have had enough. You must be sufficient enough to take care of yourself first.
Yeah, before you can then
Give
family
out. And give out. So if all you had is just what could basically take care of you, and then so what have you really done in life?
Yeah.
And so that's part of, I knew I was very, very ambitious right from a young age. But if I look at it, if life was all rosy, life was all good, I really don't know if I would be this ambitious or where I am, because we're almost born, I would say we're born with silver spoons, and then life now turned to another season of dryness. And so because we're born in London, and we're always going for holiday, and my mom, we had the best of clothes. Everything was looking good from the beginning until things,
and then it just turned.
Until things really changed, really, really bad. And so I thank God that some of these things happened the way they happened. I don't know if I was just, maybe we're still out of this country and everything was cool. I really don't know. Perhaps maybe some people say there are certain things in your DNA that already God has predestined you to be this and that. And so wherever you would have been, perhaps you would have, but I attribute part of my ambition to the Niger life. When you see my brother, he looks younger. My elder brother looks younger. And my niece, which is his daughter, was asking me at some point that between me and her dad, who was the
older?
Yes, who's the oldest? And I said, guess. And she said it was me.
Wow.
So Niger has done a lot to us. But we thank God. So I attribute all of that to, it's quite strange to say that, but I attribute it to the hardship, to poverty, to wanting to make life better for yourself and your family. However, God was preparing you for a people.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I love it. I love it so much because it's taking the uncomfortable part of your life and turn it into fuel for the future. Taking the things that people would have gone, people that have, having gone through this place where everywhere is soft, everywhere is nice, and then you're going to the place where you're having to eat gwaza so many times, you don't even want to eat it again in your adulthood, and all of that. And then taking all of that and seeing that there's purpose in this process and turning it into fuel for success in the future, I think it's very commendable. Well done, sir.
Thank you.
Now, let's enter Valgee.
All right.
I want to know how Valgee started.
Okay.
Now, I've been using Valgee since, I think my first Valgee trip was maybe first quarter of 2020. Yes, first quarter of 2020.
Wow.
Yeah, so
Long time
I've been using Valgee since I've used it since that time. Where like,
The early customers,
yes,
the pioneer
exactly.
customers.
Yeah, so I think maybe first quarter of 2020.
Wow.
And Valgee, what always tripped me was the fact that I think my first trip we were like 4 in the bus, and the bus went to Abuja. This is like a 16-seater bus or so, or a 14-seater. I can't even remember. Oh, we're like 4, and this bus went to Abuja and did not pick people on the way. That is different from what we're used to seeing, and it left on time. So I want to know the story behind building Valgee, and then we'll talk about the principles, because I think the principles are very critical. Valgee is extremely principled. I mean, if you get to Valgee, if you have an 8 o'clock trip and you get there by like 8:05, all you'll be seeing, you probably might not even see the tail lights of the vehicle, right?
Yeah.
So let's get to the very beginning of Valgee.
So the very beginning of Valgee started with me as an Uber driver, and then.
So you were the first driver?
Yes, I was the first driver. Pilot 001. I take that.
001.
In fact, nobody takes that. All the other drivers start from 2 and the 1.
Wow.
So I now got in touch because my boss stays in the UK. My boss, who I worked for in the medical company, and so I know a few people coming from the UK to Nigeria and wanting to go to Jos. And so I started by offering to drive them. Yes, pick them up from the airport and take them to Jos. And so when I was running the Uber, I saw the technology, and I knew that it's possible to create something for interstate service. And then all I was doing was car hire service, basically. And so we started with the mind to just provide car hire services for organizations. I got in touch with one of my friends, and so from B2C, I also graduated to B2B business, and I started serving some NGOs. I had to get another car, and I promised my friends to get to if they could believe in me and give me their vehicle. And in Jos, I was promising to give them 20,000 a week, which was the same offer that drivers were giving to investors in Abuja. And looking back, I shouldn't have done that. But I was desperate to have vehicles. And so I started with 1 and then got 2 and 3 and 4 and 5. And so we had like 4 or 5 vehicles that were running, just basically car hire services. And then the car hire services was looking very interesting. We started serving some big NGOs, and we started doing jobs then in Jos I got contracts with up to 17 million, 20-something million, and you had to go and borrow money from somewhere and just execute it. Even if you were collecting money from loan sharks, you just wanted to make sure that you executed the job and you had that certificate and recognition, and you had turnover. I needed to just show that I had capacity, so that if somebody asks me for my bank statement, he will see that truly I have done jobs and I have the award contract. So it was just going to build. So it wasn't really about the money. I wanted to build my profile. I wanted to show customers that I had capacity to deliver. And so we started and we opened offices in a few places. I had offices in Makurdi. We had a base in Mina, in Kwara, in Zamfara, in Sokoto, Kebbi, Abuja. So we started opening up, but it was very, very tough because sometimes you do these jobs, you wait for 2-3 months before you get your money. Sometimes we profiled customers based on those that can pay, but they're humans and they are Nigerians involved. And so there are lots of delays, and you sometimes it's designed that way that you must show capacity.
Yeah.
And so B2B was tough. And so it got to a point that I had to evolve. And that's one major crossroad in my life. I reinvented my business from just B2B to B2C. So in 2019, I decided to go into shared services, which is now what made Valgee more popular. So Valgee is a combination of Valerie, Val, and Gwott.
Okay.
My name is Samuel Gwott, and my nickname is Sam G. That's what my mom wrote on my, in secondary school when you're going to school. Then, don't know how it happens now, but everything, your clothes, the back of your collar, everything is Sam G. The buckets, your pants, everything, socks, everything. Because
if not, online shoppers will pack the boots.
Exactly. So people didn't know my name then; they were just calling me Sam G.
Sam G.
And so everybody has a G because it's Gwott in my family. So my wife is Faye G, my daughter is Valerie Valgee, my son Faye G. And so all of us had the G. And so it's one of those names you keep playing around. And so one of those names that you even didn't expect will fight through the CAC search. And the ones we initially looked for didn't pull through. And Valgee was approved.
Wow.
And that's how Valgee has now become a household name. We now are officially a group of companies. We have subsidiaries where we have the logistics arm. We have Valgee Express for logistics. We have the Valgee Cafe that we're launching very soon. We have the Valgee Automobile. And we want to start selling cars. We want to start selling genuine spare parts.
Okay.
We want to have the best place in Jos where people will come from other states to fix their cars. I brought in mechanics with over 20 years experience.
Wow.
And we're setting up nicely very soon. Even for your vehicle, we'll start servicing your car.
Amazing.
So all of these are businesses that are feeding themselves. We're going into hospitality. And so Valgee, that's how Valgee started with me as someone that was just running car hire service. And then from car hire service, I evolved to shared services because I needed a business that didn't need any government or any organization to beg them before you get your money. I want business that was very seamless, customer books, and the money comes to you directly. There's no
third party,
there's
no
third party,
bureaucracy.
no stories. So I can still do the B2B now with more strength, but you have, I needed to do a business. I deliberately chose businesses that have constant inflow coming in every day. Some people don't have business, but they don't really have liquidity.
Yes.
And so right now it's very seamless. People just book online, and then you're paid, and then your payments come in. If it's transfer, it's the same day. If it's through a payment gateway, it drops the next day, and you don't need to know anybody. You don't need to beg anybody. So I had to reinvent the business from B2B to B2C, and that was the game changer for Valgee.
Wow, amazing. Yeah. So in all of this, what key principles have you applied in building Valgee? Because so when Valgee started, and you've already hinted on it, it literally just became like revolutionary, right? Doing things that were not seen here before. I'm always I'll still talk about the timeliness, right? Yeah. The time factor. How did you've mentioned also the fact that, through automobile, many of your vehicles here, you ensure that they are top notch, they are, well maintained, well serviced before they hit the road and all of that. What principles have you deployed through growing this business?
So I want to say here that I'm a risk taker. Okay, I've taken some very good calculated risk, and it has paid off. Imagine going to a business that people said it would not work. People told you, nobody can price a car above Blue Whales. That Blue Whales is the market leader. You cannot charge below 1,000 or 1,510. And so, but I knew that every time I was also a customer of Blue Whales, I was a customer of Plateau Riders. And when I go to the park, I see lots of beautiful cars, fine cars parked and people going in. And I knew that people needed more. If people saw a better service, they would switch. So it's like creating a new service, and creating a new market for it. So that was, and I said, what's the worst case scenario? What could happen? I get cars and, oh yeah, it didn't work, but at least you tried it.
Yes.
And so I was then the first person that will charge and this axis to charge 3,500 naira for a trip
To
Abuja, and then to charge 2,000 naira for the Hummer bus, the regular, and for Prestige 3,005. And so I just had that gut feeling that people are managing these services because that's the only available services at the moment. But the moment they see something better, they will switch. And right now, we have over 38,000 customers in our database. Oh, yeah. And we have...
Whoa!
Oh, yes. We have with their emails, their numbers, and everything. And we still have so much demand. Right now, we still have so many imitators that have come into the market, but you would see that despite the fact that they're trying to penetrate with lower prices, customers still prefer to come to us. So a few things I've learned in life about value, that is not all about price. Customers also go for value. And a lot of customers, these are people, over 50% of our customers fly by air.
Yeah.
So it's not about the price. It's about service delivery. It's about delivering something that's of value. People want something that is safe, it's reliable, it's comfortable. Because and the timing thing was a risky one.
How did you pull it off?
Was a risky one. The first year and a half, we're not out to make money. It was just to gain customers.
So it was very strategic.
Yes, is to get a market, the share of the market. That was the strategy. It was not to make money. And many people go into a business with an ambition right from the word go to make money. But we just wanted to deliver. And we now started getting more customers by word of mouth.
Yes.
Because a customer that travels, maybe only him. Yeah, thank God for you it was 4. And it was tough because imagine fueling the car every day.
Yes.
And you're making losses. But that one customer, in fact, some customers are scared. You mean you're taking only me from Jos to Abuja? I say, yes. And you go, you travel, and guess what? That customer now picks his phone and calls all his friends and families. And
I did that too.
Yes, so we've just gotten ambassadors by delivering good service. So I've gained a few principles from also where I worked. Earlier, I worked with someone that had very great work ethics, and I knew how to. I read a few books, but I knew I had some very good business mentors that I brought them. They're like, some are like consultants for me, some are like business mentors. So I've had quite a number of conversations, and I've observed how my boss was running our business. And there are a few principles that I said, look, I was going to pick this. And a few things I said, look, if I'm my own CEO, I'm not going to do that. So what drives us basically in Valgee is excellence, is integrity, it's innovation, and professionalism. I just love I have this love for good customer care service. And so partly, so these are a fusion of a number of things, from observation, from interactions with people, from a few things that I've studied. And like I said, I have that eye that sees what could be better in a market. And so I really wanted to when I go through Blue Whales, I wish I could travel to Abuja, do my business, and still come back the same day. Yeah, so I had that desire, and I didn't find that transport company that could give me that same value. And so it was, some things are like also experiments, some things are also done by research. Yes, I've done a lot of research as also about my business before going into it. I've asked questions, I've observed myself, I've traveled myself. So with all those things, I was able to gather a lot and then say, look, let's structure it this way. And I always want to be different. I always want to do things differently. And so I have this drive for excellence. I have drive for comfort. I have drive to just solve problems. I easily see gaps in the market. I love to solve problems. I love to create solutions. And because of that drive in me, I could easily just come up with a better solution that people were looking for.
Yeah.
And so once we started, it was like, aha, where have you been all this while? So it's a fusion of all of this that has brought up to where we are. And then we were learning on the job as well, giving a lot of, principles and a lot of, so we have, what runs in Valgee is, what we're offering is an experience. It's a fusion of so many things, but the main offer of what we're offering clients is just that experience from start to finish. From going to the convenience in the toilet, from sitting down, where you sit down, how you book, how you're ushered in, how the traveling experience, and how you disembark, and all of that. It's a work in progress, but for us, internally, what we've been working on is organizational culture. That this is how we behave in Valgee. And we've been able to attract our kind. Even one key secret about the success of Valgee is in its recruitment. If you get your recruitment right, you've solved 50% of your problem. And so it's something that we've been able to do over time. And many of my friends, or quite a number of them, haven't been able to set up a structure as well. Because sometimes you're thinking, I'm not making money yet. Why do I need to get a secretary? Why do I need to get an accountant?
Yes.
But you don't have to start making enough money to get all of these things in place. Sometimes a friend can play that part for you. Somebody, it may be cheaper. A friend can offer you legal services. You may not be able to start on retainership, but just, I beg, guy, help me do this, help me do that. But people start respecting you when they see that
There's structure in
there's
place.
a structure.
Yes.
And it's more convincing that it's a business. When people come in, they see that you're not the only one. Initially, when I started, I was the driver, I was the marketer, I was the CEO, I was the accountant, I was receptionist, I was everything. But and quickly I had to set up that structure where you're not the one following up the payment, or you're not the one all the time picking calls. Somebody's picking calls. So somebody said, oh, look, so there's actually some structure. There's somebody handling this, there's somebody handling that. And like I said, ultimately, we want to build businesses that last. So many businesses on the plateau have come and gone with the founder.
Yes.
There's so many people. We had great people like Paul Gindres, the DB Zangs, so many people that have come and were so wealthy, and somehow it wasn't transferred to the children, or there wasn't a setup of a corporate governance where you're ensured that the business is managed properly and it can outlive its founder and the founder, and also ensure that the investment of shareholders are protected. So that's part of our goal, to ensure that Valgee not only expands, not only becomes a leader in the market or a reference point, but also outlives us and becomes a legacy for other generations.
Yeah, you already went straight into the question I was going to ask you about structure, and I think that structure is such an important thing that many, especially us young entrepreneurs, don't really pay attention to. And you had touched on the fact that some people feel like a lot of people actually feel like I don't have the money yet to get this, to get that, to put this in place and put that in place. Now, for you. You talked structure, you talked about company culture, and the two of them really tying together. How have you been able to, one, recruit the right people, but also from the get-go set the right internal structure and governing structure? Because I also know that you have a board, and people both within and outside who ensure that things are done as they should, and the company is true to its promise and true to its brand identity, right? What key things did you put in place? What also motivated you? Because also there's the fact that a number of us feel like, let me do my thing. When we blow, we'll put it in place.
Yeah.
Would you share some insights on that, please?
Yeah, so I had, like I said, I had a number of some mentors, and I carefully observed. My ambition then, and still is the same, that I want my company operations, the internal processes, to be at par or better, or at least the same as any multinational company. So I didn't want, there's so much mediocrity attached to us on the plateau or the middle belts. So people are amazed when they see things like this. So I was more motivated to say, look, we want to do things that are standard, things that can stand anywhere. If anything is done, processes, anything is done in a multinational company, it should be a similar kind of setup done here. So it's still a serious work in progress. But what I've done quickly, early in my early stage of business, is to set up the right team. If you notice, I'm not a one-man gang.
Yes.
Even right now, when I got the appointment, and I came in to Plateau Express service, I came in with some of my team. I have a team. I have people in technology, in media, in creative designing. I actually don't do most of those things. You don't even have to be the one to write the memos, but you must get people, intelligent people that you have their loyalty, and that gives you a very, very good team behind you. So people see your face, but actually you've been able to, and that is, the part of the success factor is that you're not a greedy person. Yes.
Wanting to keep everything for yourself.
Yes. Some people cannot do that because it means sometimes you dipping money from your pockets and doing things. So, for instance, the idea of the Tin City Metro bus service, I had the idea, and I was not seeing it for a while, and people were like, look, you need to, and 3 or 4 people had mentioned to me that, look, you need to give this government a proposal, something. I said, yeah, I've been working on something. And then I shared it with a friend of mine, and she brought a team for me. They said, look, can they flesh out this idea? And then I invited some other guys, and we started working on it, and we were doing so much corrections. And I'm telling you, when all of this was happening, it was before 2023. Yes, or it was before this government came into power. So I did that, and to have that team, you had to pay them. The financials, the work, the projections, and I just knew that I had to drop a proposal for this government as my offer to make, to give a solution to the government. And that bold move, the obedience to the spirit, to be able to go into that. Brought about where I am right now because it caught the attention of His Excellency, and they're like, look, instead of doing it from the outside, you should come in and do it. And so it's such a nice thing that people should know that His Excellency has gone out for people based on merit, based on capacity. It's not all politics all the time or some form of intrigues. It's part of it, but it's not all of it. And it's a very, very nice thing where you know that you're chosen, you're selected based on also merit and based on your capacity. So back to what I was saying, if I didn't spend that money, I wouldn't have gotten the right business pitch, the right plan, because there were lots of graphics, lots of work was done. And that's how I got even close to someone like Elvis. Yes. Elvis is like my PA, he's head of media and publicity in Plateau Express, but we did a lot of work with him together. And yes, I got to know him through his own business that he was running. And the relationship evolved. But I came in with some of my team that we had succeeded together in a number of things. And when we came in, we've been winning together. And I tell you that part of the success factor is that I was not greedy. Yes. So you need to set up a team. Everybody has a winning team. Everybody has people behind you that are doing it. You don't really, but some people, they want to do everything. Themselves. You cannot do everything yourselves. You need people that will think. And I am at the stage in my life where all I need to do is just to say, I'm thinking of this.
And you have people that can run with it.
And people will run with this, people will run with registration, people will run it. This is what I'm thinking of. That's all. And then they all do it, and then when it all comes out, but it also means that you have those people loyal to you, that they can go to any length to ensure that what needs to be done is done. So that's very, very critical for me at my level. And so it makes life very, very easy. You learn to delegate. You learn to also make them feel that they're part of the success story. And they are happy that you're all winning together. And so that's how it's been for me. So having a team is a very critical success factor. Yeah.
Fantastic. It's really interesting to see that, one, you're able to get people who are loyal to the vision, loyal to the dream, and can follow you through. I mean, you've talked about you moving to, Plateau Express, even with this core team that have been with you, fleshing out the vision, executing, and all of that. And no business person can actually scale and build something worthwhile running alone. And you touched on something which is really important: greed, and how it has, broken or destroyed many businesses. There was something you had mentioned at the very beginning that I want us to talk a little bit about. You said when you started Valgee and people saw how it was running and all of that, they said, oh, of course, it has to be a Yoruba person or an Igbo person.
Yeah.
What is it about our region that makes that almost every time we see some form of excellence, we attribute it to people who are not ethnically from this region? What is, I don't know if you understand the question I'm asking, because constantly that sentiment or that narrative always shows up. You do something and then everybody's like, oh, this guy. And then by the time they ask, they say, he's not from here. That's why. Is there a genesis to this, what I will, like you had mentioned, mediocrity, or something that almost makes that it's default setting? It's changing now, especially with a lot of younger people. But what is it? And how can we fix it systematically and erase it completely going forward?
Wow. Man, this is something very, I'll try to give my own
It's a heavy
Because,
question, Abi.
Yeah, I've tried to give my own opinion to this. Perhaps maybe other people may weigh in on it differently, but I would say that at least I've read history. And part of my history, I know that civilization came into Nigeria, from the Western region. And even the amalgamation of Nigeria, it was very difficult to penetrate some parts of Nigeria because of how educated they were and how resistant they were to the amalgamation. And so we've been playing catch up.
We have.
From the North, generally. We've been playing catch up historically.
Yes.
And I'm not sure how true it is, but that part of the independence would have been 3 years earlier. But the likes of Samuel Jok and lots of people discovered that, with the independence that, we didn't really have any, good number of people from the North that were educated. So a lot was done in that time to push people, just to push them to military, to school, to what. There was lots of recruitment of people, offers of people to join the workforce, to join the civil service, so that it will be balanced in a way. And so up till now, information somehow, access to information, you'll see that there are things happening, and it's from the West or the East that get to know about certain things first before it comes down here. And so there has been that catch up, but right now there is no excuse, because the world has become a global village. Everything that they see, we see it. Maybe our forefathers would have been excused that they didn't have access. For instance, you will see that the Yorubas or quite a number of other tribes knew how to get their brothers and sisters out of this country to get citizenship in other countries. They just knew how to do that. And some of our grandparents and parents just go for holiday and come back. Just as simple as that.
Yes.
But they just know how to do it and the steps. But right now, there is no excuse, because we're blessed with technology. The technology has made the world a global village, such that if earlier maybe we didn't have role models, we didn't see people that were ambitious, people that were succeeding, right now it's different. Right now, the world has become such, like, everything is in your phone. You can see what the young person in Abia State, in everywhere, is doing. So we don't have excuse why we shouldn't be that ambitious. However, our grandparents along this side just felt life was just good, and it was going to continue like this. And a few of them tried to build wealth but couldn't transfer it. And so there was just this complacency. Some people give credit, maybe suspect that the weather has a way of just making everybody just laid back.
Cool.
Yes, that because of the weather in Lagos and other places, 5 o'clock already the shops are open and everything. In Jos,
you're
you
still
have to
under
wait
your
till
blanket.
9 o'clock, 10, some shops are opening. But like I said, there's no excuse. When I was much younger, in my 20s, when I traveled to go for a job in Lagos or somewhere, I'm just sad. I just come back home sad. I'm like, what? You see young people, they're already managers of banks, they're already captains of industries, they're driving wonderful cars. They already have masters, they are professors. And then here...
if you manage to if you manage to finish university, you're like a big boy.
Yes, you tell your parents in your 20s, your late 20s, you want to marry. They say, what? Are you not thinking of your masters? Shouldn't you be thinking? It's like, it's like what our counterparts were doing in some other parts of Nigeria. When we start doing it, it looks like you are so ambitious or you are even stubborn. Yes.
Actually.
Yes. And sometimes people that have succeeded have deliberately broken out. And most successful people in Plateau State are people that have succeeded outside Plateau and come back inside to build. And so we have whatever happened before. We don't have any excuse. If your parents didn't leave you any inheritance, it is not an excuse. It is if they sold, if all the lands had been shared and you don't even have anything, any fallback plan, you have no excuse, because what we have right now is a level playing ground as good as every other person.
Yeah.
What we encourage right now is to say that we need to showcase a lot of ingenious people in Plateau State. We have a lot of people that we need to start showcasing them.
Yes.
In different parts of in different sectors.
Yes.
We need to identify them and start showcasing them so that the youths know that, look, if this person can do it, I can do it as well. And we need more role models. We have them, but people have not
They're not
identified.
as visible.
Yes.
They're not very visible.
It's just like me now.
Yeah.
If not that, up till now, people are asking, who is the guy behind Valgee? Who is this person? My company name has gone way beyond me because I deliberately even I just didn't want to be the face of the business. I wanted the business to run smoothly. My own staff, the face of the business, was not the same tribe as me. And that's one key thing. So there's this historical part of catch up, and then there is also a deliberate effort to stigmatize some of us in the middle belt and to marginalize us. From military to different parts, there had been a grand plan to make us very, very insignificant and just to be part and never have any political presence or anything. But we thank God that it's changing. So some of us have to deliberately, because how did we get to that point where people see us as just houses? How did we get to that point that people say, oh, Plateau State, Plateau State, we heard that in Plateau State, the mother is farming with the baby at the back. Then the father is drinking burkutu. It just started like joke.
Yes.
And but then somehow
it caught up as a major narrative.
Yes, we didn't see that coming. We're just all nice. There's just this complacency generally in the Middle Belt and in Plateau State. We're not ambitious. We don't feel that life is more than life could be more. And it also boils down to also exposure. But like I said, if we can forgive maybe our grandparents or parents for that lack of exposure, but for our generation, we don't have any excuse. There's no excuse why we cannot change that narrative. So for us in Plateau State, particularly, we need to deliberately change that narrative to say that, look, there's so many good things, so many reasons why you need to come and do business in Plateau State, so many reasons why you should come and invest, so many reasons why you should come and settle. The population is getting much. People are coming to Plateau State. You check the hotels. We can't even host a lot of national events right now because we don't even have the capacity in terms of hotel rooms. So it shows that there are lots of people that are coming in to Plateau State to do business, to do so many other things. So we, as the youths, have that responsibility. We're super grateful to what His Excellency, Barrister Caleb Manasseh Mutfwang, is doing. What he's done is so audacious. It has never been this good before in Plateau State, where we're privileged to have a lot of young people
being involved
being involved in government and people that have actually succeeded or are also technocrats or leaders in their own industries.
Yeah.
And he has that eye and to be able to fish out people like that and bring them in. And if you have people with a private sector mentality to drive the economy, you have a more likely chance that it's likely to succeed.
Yeah.
Than because if you really want to have a new state, you must have new leaders. New leaders must emerge, and these new leaders, I'm not even talking about politically only. New leaders must emerge, and they must bring themselves out. Nobody is going to just give it to you.
Yes.
If we're not careful, a whole generation will be cut out of being able to be recognized. And people in their 50s or 40s may just be cut out because the people that are old don't want to go, and people that are young are already getting old as well. So it's a deliberate effort to come out and show yourself and become a reference point, and people that will want to also associate themselves with you and maybe want to do things with you. It's quite bad that we're under a kind of economic siege on the plateau, apart from the security challenge, which is common we're not the only ones having security challenges, but somehow the whole, people tend to amplify, certain groups of people tend to amplify any security breach or any bad news that happens here.
Yeah.
So people tend to amplify it. If you look at CNN, there's so many gun killings in the US. But the news don't even linger. Before you know it, the news don't even last 2-3 days. Before you know it, the news just goes down. But for us, it seems to be a stigma. It seems to be so it's something. So, and I was telling you that economically, for example, there are so many houses that are up for sale and properties in Plateau State. And it's very hard to find Plateau indigents that can afford to buy those properties. So that's just a feedback to say that we also lack economic power, and we, the real indigents or people that have grown in Plateau, are not really the ones in charge of many industries that we should be benefiting from. Is it mining? Is it agriculture? Is it sale of household products? Is it pharmaceutical products? We have people that have come here to Plateau State as coppers and now the top leading pharmaceuticals.
Yeah.
They are the ones owning the top pharmaceuticals in Plateau. So we need to do a lot to take responsibility ourselves. It's not everything that government needs to do, but it's way there's a great light of hope for us in Plateau State, with young people with a different mindset in government, doing government business, and also in leadership positions. So I think it's a very, very right time for us to really change that narrative.
Yeah.
It's going to take a while, but I believe that it's already looking good for us in Plateau State that we can identify a few people that we can say, look, these are homegrown entrepreneurs, and if they can make it, we can do it, because the white-collar jobs are not there. Why should Plateau State be tagged as a civil service
state?
Yes, civil service state. I mean, it's changing.
It is.
It's changing. So the narrative is changing. People are already coming more, and the opportunities are created for people to explore how to come up with their ideas, and also being able to attract some funding. There's lots of work with Plasmida happening, and a lot of work with other similar agencies that are coming up nicely. So it's looking good for us on the plateau, but we have to, nobody will hand it over to us.
Yeah.
We need to come out and showcase yourself. Enough of just hiding. Everybody needs to come back.
Yeah.
And people that are in the diaspora should love to come back and invest.
Great.
Yes, we should need to change that. Why should somebody say that in Plateau State that, look, if you want to employ a staff, don't employ a Plateau indigene?
I've heard that too.
Yeah. I mean, that is one of the most annoying narratives. even within us.
Yes.
Somebody will say, yes, if you employ a Plateau indigene, they'll tell you my mother's father's brother's sister's cousin just gave birth. And then the next day, there's the
a
burial of my uncle's father's brother, sister's cousin. And then it keeps going on and on that there are excuses. But we have so many hardworking people, already, so it's a deliberate effort that we need to keep coming up and changing
Changing the
that narrative that Plateau guys, whether you're born here or you were an
Raised
indigene here, yes, we are actually changing that scenario. It's looking better, way, way much better than ever before in terms of technology, in terms of different spaces. People are really coming out and showcasing themselves. So it's looking better, but it has to be a deliberate work from both, the private, the government just creates enabling environment, but truly we ourselves from private sector need to really make deliberate efforts to change that narrative.
Thank you so much, sir. As someone who's been who literally came in from private sector and now you're in the public sector, are there things that you would share, insights that you would share for especially entrepreneurs for working with public sector? I know I've heard you talk about the fact that there are opportunities. A lot of us in the private sector shy away because we say, there's this, there's bureaucracy, there's corruption, there's all of that. But are there insights that you'd be willing to share with us to tell us about, maybe opportunities and advantages of taking or just of being visible to the public sector?
Yes, I think there has to be more interactions between the public and private sector. The people, entrepreneurs, business people from the private sector need policies and governments to create enabling environment for you to do certain businesses. And so we need each other. Sometimes for many entrepreneurs, their biggest client is even the government. Yes, there are many businesses that your biggest client is government. And so for some of us, if you just stay out of it and say you don't want to do anything, and then you'll be shocked that while in school, while you were seriously reading, somebody was not really reading or was hardly there in class, but will always pass. And that person will always be out there as an activist or one SUG or something. It just starts like joke. Then you now go and finish and go abroad, or you go to one private university, you start working, you're a technocrat, and then one day you just see the name of that your former classmate as the next honorable or excellency or somebody in your community that you now have to go and pay homage to, and whatever that person says affects your business. Yes, your life and everything. So it's a time for us to also be desirous, if the opportunities arise, to serve and to be part of, to put your hands dirty and change systems. Because part of the desire for, if you really want to make a better place, is also to be part of a system and try to see how you can change the system and certain narratives. So we have to be within the mix so that we can also create that change. And also, there has to be more interactions. People need to interact more. If I'm a businessman, I would want to know what is happening within the government or within the government space or within the ministry that affects my business. And it's good. I would encourage businesses to try to introduce themselves, avail themselves. Sometimes some people may get their fingers burnt one way or the other, but it doesn't mean that you should generalize that everybody is the same. You need to showcase yourself. You need to become a reference point such that government will want to also consult you in certain parts. You should have a say when it gets to certain parts of the economy. When it gets to your own part of the business, your own sphere of business, you should be desirous that, look, if something is happening with regards to this, I should be one of the key stakeholders that government invites. Government really invites economic stakeholders and stakeholders in different parts of the economy in Plateau State to consult for certain things. And certain people are invited. So why are you not invited? So you also need to try to create solutions. I was giving an example of myself that what if I just sat down and I was just complacent and just very okay with my business and my life, but I knew that I also needed to prefer solutions. And you can imagine how things happen seamlessly without, it's not everything that it has to be that you must know somebody that knows somebody that knows somebody. Sometimes just that simple coming up, putting it in writing, and making that attempt to prefer solutions, you may end up being somebody that is a key stakeholder in what we are doing. So we need lots of interactions of that. There are many countries in quite a number of countries, even in Africa, in East Africa, that their economies are driven by cooperatives.
Okay.
Yes, there are cooperatives that own the skyscrapers.
Yes,
and
yes.
own the most of the big businesses, not really the government. So you can see how there has to be that deliberate efforts. People need to form associations and groups. People that they can't be one-man gangs. People need to, bakers need to start coming up. Like we have strong association of bakers on the plateau.
Amazing.
And they have a nice group. They come together and they've been doing things in government. They've been trying to involve government and they've been coming around. So we need entrepreneurs that are doing similar things to come together, and government should know that they also have a voice. Yes, and there are other, associations like the Manufacturer Association of Nigeria and many other associations that you can't just be in business and be just a lone ranger.
Yeah.
You must be part of a group or an association or a membership of a certified body of something that affects your business, because if you are there, you could get to know what's happening and you get to also contribute. So I believe that that's one of the ways where we can start interacting with government. So people shouldn't be shy. People should come out of their shells and try to network and try to start having suggestions and start bringing up solutions. Because sometimes you can discover that maybe you're just the person that we've been waiting for. And your solution could lead to a lot of changes, could bring lots of employment and change the economy and boost the economy of the state. So I'll encourage everybody to come out of their shells and try to interact more and try to listen to news. Many entrepreneurs don't even listen to news.
Listen to news.
They don't read newspapers. They don't listen to news. You don't know that what happens somewhere in Lagos can also affect you here in Jos. So some people are not even concerned with what is happening in the Senate. People are not even concerned that they don't know that these laws, and they don't know that there are people that are organizations, people that are going and lobbying to that certain laws and certain bills to be passed. Because there are certain bills that if they're passed, your business is gone. And so you have to be aware of your environment and things that are within your control and things that are out. So I believe that right now it's way different. People need to get more involved with what government is doing and what is happening politically. Yeah.
This is encouraging for me because I've also been on that place where I just feel like, let me just do my thing, right? And working with government can have a lot of, bottlenecks and all of that. But I think I'm just listening to you talk about this is motivating for me and encouraging and I think that the next call to action will be there are ideas I do have that I think that I can probably bring it to the ministries or the agencies that that those ideas fall under.
Yeah, you should. Yes, I'm an example. I'm a living, so you can use me as a case study.
Yeah, and thank you for sharing that. So finally, I wanna not finally, second to last question would be, because you had touched on investing in Plateau State, right, earlier. I know that this might hit a little bit too home for you, but if there are people who are looking to invest in the transport sector here, what what are some tips or advice that you share with them?
People desirous of investing.
Yes, here in
in,
Plateau State,
in
especially in the transport sector.
yes, I would say that the opportunities, there are lots of opportunities here on the plateau. Or we're talking about the different forms of transportation. First of all, let me even talk about the taxis. We still need very decent taxis.
We do.
A taxi system, very decent one. We also have needs for a better transport system that connects the local governments. There's need for people to come into agro-logistics. And there are lots of perishable things that are also
Very
from
important.
Plateau that needs to be transported to many places. And Plateau State is situated as like a gateway between the north and the south. And it's a journey, it's a situation where we're situated in a place where people travel to Jos and sleep over and then move to other places. And so there are lots of states that also, before they get to Abuja, they have to pass through Plateau State. So there's high traffic of people coming because of business, agriculture, many opportunities on the plateau, or just passing through Plateau. So there are many opportunities for the road transport, for airline business. There's still opportunity for people to come in those areas. And so for us, even in Plateau Express, you know, there are opportunities where people can come in to solve lots of problems because we want investors to be able to come in. We've been doing a lot of house cleaning. So there are companies where you can see that they've shown that it's possible, even from the private sector. I have also shown that it's possible. And because of what I've done, I've also attracted lots of investment. And so people want to see that something is working. So one secret for people to be able to attract investment is to start.
Yes.
When you don't start, you keep talking about it. If I kept on talking about my business idea and never started, nobody will come in.
Yes.
So people want to see that you have shown proof of concept, that you've started that thing and it's working, because there's a very, very large gap between having an idea and bringing it into a reality.
Yes.
Many people just talk about their ideas. You meet a friend, 2024, he's talking about, oh, there's this idea I had. 2025,
There's
this idea. 2026, he's still talking about the idea, but he's never actually doing that thing. And so people want to see you do it. People want to see you start. People want to see that it's possible. So investors are a bit wary of systems that are too risky, that don't show. Generally, logistics and transports doesn't seem to appeal internationally. So you have to do a lot of hard work to be able to get funding for that. But that doesn't mean that there are no opportunities locally for you to be able to attract investment. So logistics is like the gold mine, because people depend on logistics, passenger movement a lot. And you'll be amazed with the kind of traffic, the kind of movement. You can imagine that just the Tin City Metro is just solving a slice of the market, and we're moving about 9,000 people every day.
Amazing.
So you can imagine what other transporters are doing on their own businesses. So I would say that, it's good to do your due diligence as an investor. You want to do business. You want to check. You want to check the books. You want to check. You want to do your findings to know if truly what they're saying is what they're doing. You want to do your own research. You want to check the business pitch, the business plans. You want to look at their performance, and there are lots of indices that will tell you that, look, this is the right place to invest. So I'm sure that there already there are lots of people that are interested in coming in because they've seen that there's organization, there's order, and there's some form of transparency with what is happening. So it's looking good, and I would encourage people to come into the transport business on the plateau.
Yeah.
It's actually a gold mine that has yet to be tapped. Yeah.
So you meet a lot of young people. You do mentor a lot of young people. I know that you're very passionate about the youth and, the future that they're building. And people come to you for many things, right? Some people come to you for help in either getting a job or they need money for this or all of that. But if there was something that you wish more young people would ask you, what would it be?
So most young people that come, yes, I interact with a lot of young people. Many people don't even want to know how you started. Yes. And many people just want to blow. You just want to do everything. Some people you want to work, you want to do everything before you are 30. So what would you do with the rest of your life? It's possible that at 26 you could come up with a solution, maybe a software solution that you could hit a jackpot, and it's possible. But many people don't care about the process. Yes. And they're not interested about being or becoming. They're more interested in having. Yes. And so I would encourage people to want to know the little beginnings. I think little beginnings should be where people should be more interested about. The how they got, and then people should also be interested to know about decisions that you took that you wish you didn't take. People are not really interested about your failures. People just want to be the success. And so young people are encouraged to be curious to know how people feel as well. And then I've noticed that what many young people need now is apprenticeship and mentorship. So many people just want to start things on their own. And sometimes you've never even worked under anybody. Sometimes it's good to have that experience of being under a system, a process. It helps a lot. And many people don't know how to just submit themselves under a proper system and observe and see, because a good leader was once a good follower.
Yes.
And so you don't just come up from anywhere. You were under somewhere, under a system, under a process. And so just like how the Igbos have successfully done
built their apprenticeship system.
Apprenticeship model, which is working. I believe that young people should also desire to submit themselves under processes, to be apprenticeship, to learn capacity as well, to observe and learn from systems, and not just too eager to, I just want to start my thing. It's good to have that dream, but it's also good to have a bit of experience of what it means to work in an organization. Some people have never had that kind of, and that's why it's good that the educational system for some kind of professions, they give you opportunity to go on some kind of attachments or industrial training, so that you just get to see how things are done, and you get to observe processes and a lot of that. So young people should, as much as they desire to start on their own, they should also seek to also be part of a system. It helps a lot. Yeah.
All right. I'm very grateful for your time and you being here and all these insights that you've shared. I think if there was any last thing I would ask, it would be following up on the last, and the last question will be that what is the biggest failure you've had, and how did you go through that season or that experience?
Wow, biggest. The number of failures, but I don't know. I've not
Okay,
given
well,
it a
maybe
good
not. Maybe
thought.
if it's not biggest, but there probably might be one or two that stand out as something that you wish you, if you had like a Tipex or an eraser, you'd remove, or maybe it adds even to the quality of the story.
Okay, let me see. Because most of my failures were just part of the learning
The learning
process,
process, yes.
and they were just things that if you never tried it, you wouldn't have learned how to do it differently or better. You know, it's part of failure. It's part of the adventures of a young person that, or anybody that you're trying out things. But if you keep repeating the same thing over and over, and then that's a big mistake. So, leading to where I am right now, um, I would say it's very difficult to pick
To
one.
pick one.
Um, I would pick more of business because I would say that I've made very critical, good decisions in life because I've done some consulting in major decisions in my life with regards to marriage. I'm married to the best woman in the world, and to where I am right now, I would say that certain agreements should have been formalized much earlier, whether in business or in in employment, with regards to non-disclosure agreements and a
Yes.
lot of that. I believe that I should have maybe done more consulting, and perhaps certain businesses should have been formalized more. And I wished I opened up more when I was passing through certain problems in business than just trying to solve it alone. So I wish that I had opened up much earlier. Perhaps maybe I wouldn't have gone through a lot of the rigorous bad experiences I've had in trying to stabilize a business. So I believe so for me that will be one of my biggest mistakes that I've made in terms of proper analysis of agreements
Yeah.
and due diligence when
Yeah.
it gets to that. So certain things shouldn't be too spontaneous. Certain
Yeah.
things you need to take your time to do it. So that's one thing I wished I did better to consult. Also, in that regard, you know, fear of wanting people to know that you failed, you know, is one thing that haunts us all. Many times to just say that, and I've met business people. I was privileged to go to one of the conferences in UK where the top black businesses, it was called Build Black Better, and top businesses, it was Black Business Week, so all the top people, the VCs, you know, in the black community came together, and some of them told their stories, and it was amazing to know that some of them had collected monies from one auntie, one uncle, or something, and sometimes they hit a rock and the money was all gone.
Okay.
And they started again, started this business and all of that. And right now they're, you know, they're millionaires and billionaires in terms of dollars and pounds. But they also had those similar experiences. So our society should be able to accommodate people as well when you say you have failed, or when you said, yes, I went on this route and I was wrong. How do people retrace their steps in a community where their expectations, and you also have expectations on yourself.
Yeah.
So that's part of
Yeah.
my life lessons.
Yeah. Life lessons.
Yeah.
Finally, what does your mom think about all you've done so far?
Oh my God. My mom, she loves us to just sit down and talk because it gives her a lot of thrill to talk about successes and a lot of things. My mom, there was this time that I was telling her about different proposals, and I was mentioning 100 and something million. She said, Kai, that I'm mentioning too much big money that I should stop. She was just overwhelmed that, that I'm mentioning so much money in high volumes. And so my mom is very proud. Is a proud mother of all her siblings. First of all, to know that, yes, all her children, sorry, knowing that we're in Christ, we're all children of light, and also to know that we're all doing well. But for me as a person, my mom has told me many times where people have congratulated her severally because of the strides I'm making. And so there are people that ordinarily would not even give my mom attention. But because of what is happening now, they want to sit with her, they want to ask her, how did this happen? They congratulate her. And my mom tells me every time that people have changed her name, that people call her Mama Valgee. or they call her Ingo. Ingo is like an elderly
mother, yeah.
Yes, so they call her Ingo GM. Ingo GM. That's Ingo GM. That's Mama Valgee. And sometimes Mama Nature Strands too for my wife.
Yeah.
So it gives her lots of thrill. And, it's such a nice feeling that you know that your child is making progress and has given you a great recognition in her peers.
Yes.
Because for parents, you want to be able to also be proud to talk about your children.
Yes.
Within your friends. You say, oh, yeah, how's your child doing? And, that's why you see some children, some children, they're before you know it, they're at a very, very young age, they're out of the country. And it's not because of anything, but some parents just want that self-recognition to just say, oh, yeah, how's your child? Oh, yeah, this one is in Germany, the other one is US. And some of them come back as liabilities, and some of them are even deported. Some of them even travel too early. But generally, you would know that in all of this, parents delight. The joy of a parent is to see that your child is making progress. And is making you proud.
Yes.
And people are congratulating you. So for my mom, it's been, imagining all those years of suffering and, having to sustain us from every sale she makes from the canteen. And right now, she's the one, supporting a lot of people and having that recognition. I bless God. And it's something that I'm happy that while my mom was alive to see this happening, and the story is still unfolding.
Yes.
And so it's such a nice thing time to time to just sit with her and talk. Parents at this age, you're over 70, you just want to know how your child is doing, and you still just want to talk. You just want to hear stories.
Yes.
And when you leave them, they brood on these stories. They share. Some they keep to heart. Some they share with other people. And they have things to pray about for you. And so it's such a nice thing once a while in our busy schedule to just sit with them and just gist.
Yeah.
And it means the world to them. So for my mom, that's how the feeling is right now.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's great. And so it literally fulfills your childhood ambition to make your mom proud.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Oh yes. I thank God.
Yeah.
I thank God. She's definitely very, very proud. She has a different name now.
Yes. Wow, this has been beautiful. Thank you. Thank you so much for your time. Your time is very valuable. Very valuable. I know that you have to be at other places, but you've taken out this time. We've been doing this now. This has been over an hour since we started this conversation. So thank you. I'm really grateful. And thank you everyone for joining us once again. Thank you. I hope that this session has been deeply impactful, deeply insightful. Like I always say, you would have to go and watch this or listen to this over and over again to get all the juice and get all the major points that can help you take informed decisions, critical decisions in your life and transform your life, take you from where you are to where you've always wanted to be. I look forward to bringing more guests and bringing more episodes to you every week. So if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe to this podcast so that you don't miss out on subsequent episodes. Share it with all your friends, with your family members, even with your enemies if you like, right? Like the video, subscribe, comment, leave a comment. Let us know where you're watching this from, what stood out to you, what decisions you will be taking after watching this, right? And if you have questions or comments, whatever it is, do not feel free to actually leave it in the comment section, and I will be there to respond, to get back to you on it. Thank you so much. Until we meet again, this is the Just Start podcast, and my name is Timothy Kunat. Take care.